Ralph.
You see him? He was just laying on my feet. And then he got up because he
Now
knows
you trying to be seen. Trying to be on the scene real quick.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ralphie.
Hey, you gotta go.
My first son.
All right.
No fur. He got hair.
All right. Come on.
He's hypoallergenic. Y'all can look that up if y'all don't know what that is. But hey, we hot. We hot. There's a whole lot of heat went on last week. Well, yeah, pretty much last week. It's the RoundHouse RoundTable. You know it is me, Marcin T, and I got B in the building. And we about to talk about this UFC 278 Kamaru Usman versus Leon Edwards. Shout out to the champ and new. But hey, let's get into the no cap recap. Let's get it.
I swear my glow up in lightning. Hot, yeah, something like lightning. This shit a hit on my psychic. She want me lick, I'm excited. See, I feel that that's my business, and that's why I'm business minded. Need a push, get behind it. It's a science, apply it. Words come to words, you tried it. Get it bad, get inspired. Shoot your shot, just the effort. I admire. Get high, it ain't nothing for friends at this point. Oh my God, my circle is smaller than the point. I'd rather sit in voice than hearing the fake on their voice. We already have a business report.
All right. No cap recap. We started off how we do it every time. And this was a great pay-per-view. Started off with Daniel De Silva versus Victor Altamirano. And this was a round 1 KO. Consider him like a prospect. Like sharp with the hands. Even got a knockdown. 2 knockdowns earlier in the first round.
Yep.
And then that's when
it went to the ground.
Yep. And by a knee right under the floating rib. Caught his knee and he went down. De Silva has good jiu-jitsu, so he didn't mind that, but Altamirano had different plans. He wanted ground and pound. He put down some heavy elbows and put down heavy ground and pound where they had to stop shit.
Elbows saving the day once again. See, people know how to get a stoppage. You throw them elbows in there.
Yeah, but he came back from adversity. That was the part that stood out, that getting dropped twice and then really getting on top and just finishing it. Get it done.
It's prime example of it ain't over till it's over.
Yep. Next, we got Arichi Long versus Jay Perrin. Went to Arichi Long round 3. Unanis. I think Arichi Long, he did what he needed to do and then kind of hung out there. And then like at the end of the fight, that's when he started getting caught. I didn't see anything. Jay Perrin's boxing was good, but Arichi Long was just standing there and just like moving out the way and still landing his shots.
Yeah, they wasn't as many, but they were most impactful. Yeah. And then Jay kept trying to take him to the ground, but Arichi Long was getting back up. He didn't stay down there for too long.
Arichi Long came through with another W. Got the W done.
Yeah.
But getting it done next, Amir Bazi versus Francisco Figueiredo. And this was done rear naked choke.
Yep.
This was like prove a point. He talking about he want to tap all the black belts out.
Yes, he did. He called out all the black belts in the division. That's that's some high level stuff though. But I was hoping for the underdog. This was me betting on the underdogs for the night. My DraftKings just went to shit. And it started with this, and it was just all terrible all night. I really wanted Figuerino to pull this out, but the weaving of the hands, man, you got to fight something. So I get it.
And with this being in Salt Lake City, we started to see like a lot of fighters fatigue faster, and I feel like that played a significant role in the fatigue because Dana White was talking about like fighters fighting in different climates. He was like, it's always something somewhere. You know what I mean? But I think high elevation kind of takes the cake. You can go to like Thailand and it be smoggy and all that. And, you'll be coughing up, little clumps of dirt in other places. But at the same time, elevation, that shit can take you out. We were in Johannesburg, Africa, and we were going up the steps. And I'm like, I just went up 2 flights. What is wrong with me? And like, I'm looking at the elevation. I'm like, oh, okay. All right. I understand now. And it's like he knew it was there. Like it was one of those ones where it was under the chin, everything was clean. He fought the hands perfectly. And shout out to Amir Bazi. Next, AJ Fletcher versus Angelus.
This is one of the underdogs I wanted to bet on. One of the ones I didn't go with my guy. I was like, I know I should do it, but I was already low in money on my DraftKings. So I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do it. But I knew he was gonna come out with the W.
This is where we really started to see that elevation kick into play. AJ Fletcher was gassed. Angelus was still at the point where, he was able to like throw, recover, throw, recover. AJ Fletcher was just not able to he was just like third round. Once he got to the ground, it's like that's where he wanted to be. he felt like that's where the best place that he could be at the time. But Angelus, it hurt my feelings because he could have finished the fight right there.
Oh, more elbows, and his corner was calling for it. I don't know if he didn't have the energy or just, I'm not sure, but the elbows would have ended that fight. Mm-hmm. And for him to get rocked in round 1, and the only thing saved him was him throwing his hand back and not falling to the ground. For you to not want to finish this, I don't know. You got to find that deep within yourself. I mean, he still got the W, but this could definitely have been a stoppage. So,
yep. It could have been stopped. For sure. But I think what kept him in there was him being able to still like swing his hands. It was a point where you could see the ref kind of lean in and start to stop it. And that's when he started to swing his hands, and that's when he stepped back. And then that's when he stopped swinging his hands again. But by that time, he had got himself together. So it's just like, I think it was good. I'm glad the ref took the arm swing in consideration. And maybe he took in consideration that, like, it's a prelims, and we still trying to make these fights happen. Like, not trying to have no early stoppages.
Yeah, like last week.
Next, we had a draw.
This was crazy.
Sean Woodson versus Luis Saldana. I just wanted to tell y'all it was a draw in advance because Luis Saldana played with his food. I never seen somebody play with their food so much and then get a draw out of it. That's how you know. That's how you know. That's how bad he was playing with his food.
Round 1, he thought that was a knockout. It was an illegal knee. Like, what? They said his instincts kicked in, like, not professionally, but survival. His instincts kicked in, and that's why the knee happened. And then the commentators didn't even recognize that it was illegal. They just thought the fight was over. But Joe Rogan pointed out that was an illegal knee. I thought that was interesting. But it just kind of like went downhill from here. Sean Woodson got some really skinny legs, and just they were getting attacked.
They were. Everything was getting attacked. He got dropped twice. Like Luis Saldana got some power. And if it wasn't for that illegal knee, then it would have been Luis Saldana's fight.
Yeah.
Sean Woodson, that was another one that should have been stopped, but it wasn't stopped. So that's why it ended up being a draw. So it's just like, shout out to Sean Woodson and Luis Saldana. And Sean Woodson almost hit a buggy choke on his ass. That's what I thought was wild.
Yeah, he didn't have it tight enough for him to finish it.
The one thing that makes it tighter is getting more on your side. Like, that's why it works great when when somebody has you flat and you got that quick moment to kind of get to your side, like right on your other shoulder, and then that's when you put it in instead of trying to get it in from like closer to your back, because he just relied on him being skinny and lanky and being able to always grab his leg instead of getting to his side, because that's what gets him more of that choke instead of on the front of your body trying to get it tight. But it was I wanted him to get it so bad.
I wanted him to get it too. It looked tight, but he was able to survive. But I'm thinking he pulled that on bigger dudes, but due to different body types, or if he had the gi on, it'd have made a difference. But you got to test it out, in butt naked rolls.
Yep, the gi definitely would have changed that up for him. He would have hit that shit. But next, speaking of gi, would have changed it up for him. Leonardo Santos versus Jared Gordon. Jared Gordon came through with the W, and it's just like, Leonardo Santos, it's just like, why do you not choose jiu-jitsu? Why do you not choose what got you here? Got a few knockouts, start falling in love with the knockouts. There's guys that do this, like with the boxing. And, Jared Gordon has hands, and he challenged him with that. Not only does Jared Gordon has hands, he has the pace to go with it.
Nah, but we're not going to dismiss that Jared Gordon evaded some positions by grabbing the fence. And it wasn't until later that they started taking the position back. He full on grabbed within the cage to get up after Santos took him down. I think it was twice, successfully to the ground, all that hard work, and he got up just grabbing the fence. Like, come on. Like, no, we're not going to dismiss that. He was just too tired. Like, he just lost the position, putting in all that work, and he was just too tired to recover from that. So he was just like coasting.
Yeah, it was so much fence grabbing going on. So
Woo!
much fence grabbing. And it's just like, watch, it's only going to like just increase the camera angles, and they just gonna have more camera angles. I'm cool with it. Like, I'm paying to watch this. Like, yeah, let's get all the angles of this, because it's like, it's a lot of things that Kamaru be doing that I didn't notice, like, because he don't be in the specific danger areas to do it. Like, it's guys that wrap their hands around the back of ankles and like accidentally get a finger into one of the links of the cage where they're holding on tight to the point where that person can't get away. Those are the little things, but they hold on to it for like a quick period of time just to establish like some control. I noticed that's what was happening a lot when Kamaru was grabbing Leon by his waist and shit like that. I noticed that was a few times, but Jared Gordon, he started the trend and got it pretty much out there for the night. Like, whoa, he keeps grabbing, especially he grabbed it at a pivotal time in the fight, you know, but shout out to him getting the W.
Yeah.
I think people do it so much because they get away with it.
Yeah, but they started changing that later on in the night. They start taking the position away. But DC was saying they just need to go ahead and take a point or just a position because it's happening so often because there's no real consequences for it.
I mean, I can only imagine how much y'all be fence grabbing during training if it's like, if it could be implemented even a little bit while you're fighting. And I think it's because it's been condoned so much. Like, I know there's coaches out there that is like, hey, if you go and grab the fence, make it worth it or make it count. You see a lot of fence grabbing at the championship level. John Jones just grabbed the fence all the time.
Yeah, he did.
Next, Marcin Tybura versus Alexander Romanov. Tybura put a 1 on that thing. This is a big W for Tybura.
Yeah, because Alexander left it all in the first round. It works slamming dudes to the ground and taking advantage. But Marcin, he's been to Utah before, so he knew what to expect with the elevation. And he got there 2 weeks early to acclimate to the elevation. And it just seemed like Romanov started to fade after the first round. He was just like in survival mode. So it's just, you got to be mindful of who you try to go in full blast if you can't carry that 3 rounds.
Exactly. Like, it was a display. He wasn't used to being on the bottom. And those guys that are not used to be on bottom, the first thing they going to do once they get on the bottom is wrap you up and just hold on tight because they are not used to being here. Like, they're used to being the hammer, not the nail.
That was happening a couple times tonight.
Yep, that happened a few times, and motherfuckers went in panic and survival mode. And you saw who really had the grit for it. Tybura thugged it out, took 2 big slams. Ooh. Like, normally Romanov do it once, and then that's when he'll find a way to finish it. But after that, he took those 2 big slams. He took everything that pretty much he had, and, you know, Tybura made the best of it. Got the W.
Yep. I thought round 1 most definitely was a 10-8 round. He didn't get off 1 punch, and he was on the ground the entire time, and he couldn't do anything. So I was pretty shocked about this. I really thought it was going to be a draw because of the way the rest of the fight played out. And so 2 judges didn't see it that way. I don't know how, but that was clear as day as a 10-8 round.
Well, I think they're doing a better job at not giving kudos to just holding somebody on the ground.
He was doing work. It wasn't as many shots. I guess it could have been
he was doing more wrestling, because like, that's the thing. If you're trying to control somebody on the ground, then you're not throwing that many punches.
Yeah.
Tybura was trying to get up the whole time, so it was not many punches being thrown. It was just control happening.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
So
I did notice that they're trying to get away from giving out 10-8s if somebody's just being tailed.
Laying on them. Yeah.
I get you. Maybe those 2 big slams and all that action, but no real punching action. Just kind of through. Yeah, I give it. Yeah, that makes sense.
That showed aggression. That showed dominance. Yeah, but they're good. He's defending everything, and he's not throwing punches. But next, speaking of throwing punches, Tyson Pedro versus Harry Hunsucker. Harry Hunsucker at the light heavyweight versus Tyson Pedro, a fucking dog. So I don't know what they were trying to set up with this. I don't know what they doing with this, but Tyson Pedro got it done. Round 1. That
kick to the stomach. You said the toe clipped it?
When it comes to kicks, sometimes all the impact can go straight to your toe and then into that person's body. You know what I mean? So it's just like almost like all this. It's like having a sledgehammer with like a hard ass knob on the front. That knob is going to hit whatever with so much pressure and power. And that's pretty much what happened. And it's just like it got into them guts and put him down. Because it looked like he the way he threw it, it looked like his foot was kind of awkward with it, and his toe was kind of pointed with it. So that's why I was like, oh, all right, damn.
But then normally he went down. He went down.
But shout out to Tyson Pedro. Like, once again, I want to see what he could do now. I want to see him with somebody in the top 15.
Who do you think that'll be? Who would be a good match for him?
Like, I would love to see him up against like a Dominic Reyes. So something like that. But like, I don't know if that's the level that he's at. Even though that'd be a crazy fight, Tyson Pedro versus Dominic Reyes. If that's the levels that they on, even whenever Tyson Pedro gets to that level, if he is at that level now, I think that'd be a firefight. Just their styles in general.
Yeah.
Next, Wu Yanan versus Lucy Putilova. She came through with the W.
Yes, she did. She utilized those elbows.
I thought Yanan was going to come through with the W with this one.
Me too. I wanted her to. I bet on her.
I thought she had, the hands factor, but it was just the ground factor. I think she did a great job getting out of submissions, defending herself from submissions.
Yeah, she had blue belt.
But once again, it was the elbows that got it done.
They wasn't even hard elbows though. That's what made me sick about it. So just throw the illusion of elbows, make contact. They don't even gotta hurt for real, but they gonna stop it more than they would for punches. So
yeah, once you can get them ball up a little bit, just throw elbows on their arms.
Just all on the face. Wu's face wasn't even messed up. She looked like nothing happened. So
I think she caught her one good time, and then that's when she showed up. Like, that's what happens a lot of times. Like, when somebody get hit the right time and the right place in their face, like, and then buzz them, they're gonna ball up. That's just how that goes. And she caught her right there. Shout out to Lucy Putilova on the W. Round 2, that was big. I think she has the same coach as Connor. So we'll see where she goes with this one. Next, speaking of, we'll see where they go with this one. Merab Dvalishvili versus Jose Aldo, and this one was a W for Merab. This one wasn't like a very exciting fight. This was like a point fight because Merab went in there with a game plan and did not deviate from it one bit, which was take Jose down. And Jose
didn't happen.
Wasn't going down not one motherfucking time. No, did he get one takedown?
No, he didn't get any. And so he said he didn't expect his defense to be that good. So he was just going to keep trying, but he defended all of them.
Every single one throughout the whole fight.
Every single one of them. And he was so focused on the defensive that he couldn't get no hits off. So it's just like, how can you win if you constantly worry about the takedown? You got to be worried about the takedown more than you punching somebody. But when he did connect, you saw that it did make a difference. Like that leg kick spun him completely around. So if he was able to get more strikes off, I think he could have been a lot more successful in this fight. But he really didn't want to get it to the ground. So that was his main concern.
I was concerned like Jose Aldo is actually good on the ground. Like. So that's why I'm confused. I think it was more of a ego, pride thing of I don't want to be taken down, so I'm gonna make sure I don't get taken down. I think instead of like, all right, okay, I'm going to take some risks. If I get taken down, I get taken down. I know how to work on the ground.
The skill level difference.
Ralphie, for real.
Let me let him out of here because he really been.
Ralphie just hopped up all on the scene.
Gone. Now he's standing outside my door. Like, no, I'm not coming with you.
You better bust that door in.
Yep.
But shout out to Merab on the W. Jose Aldo, this one was supposed to be the run, but I feel like he just laid up off the gas on it. Merab was really putting that pressure on him.
Yeah, because he was able to keep that pace for 3 rounds, and Jose Aldo, he was like slowing down after round 1. So it's just about everybody know he has the cardio to keep it up for all 3 rounds. So it's just about, do I want to keep up with this dude or not? And sometimes you just can't.
Yeah. Speaking of sometimes you just can't. Next, Luke Rockhold versus Paulo Costa, and Paulo Costa got the W unanimous.
He did.
And Luke Rockhold caught him with some shots, but it's just like he didn't have the energy to follow up and finish nothing.
This was another one where the altitude got to him. And when this
And
mofo
the
can put
conference got to you. The press conference got to you.
yes, I fell for it. I drank the Kool-Aid. I bet on him as an underdog. Like I said, I was failing all night with my underdogs. And so when I saw him put his hand on his hips, I was just blown. I was like, this dude.
I was like,
Every
oh.
time, just dang, dog. Like, what?
Dana gave Luke Rockhold an extra little 50K to shut him up.
Nah,
because
this I told you this was gonna be fight of the night because he kept stunning Paulo Costa as well, and it was just that he didn't have the energy to fill it up. But also when they got on the ground, he got too anxious, and he chose submission over position and was just going at it too fast. Paulo Costa was able to escape twice, and in some very unfortunate positions because he was too anxious. So just like I fell for it, yeah.
And one, I didn't know Luke Rockhold's jiu-jitsu was that good. That was good to see, but at the same time, just like shit. Luke Rockhold, if he wanted to fight somewhere else, shit, they'd probably be looking for him. I'm sure. But he said he's old. He got so many other avenues that he could take it. Like,
Paulo Costa already called him old trying to look young. so yeah.
That definitely made the press conference.
Yeah, he made weight, so that's what made it extra spicy. He made weight and started talking shit, and I loved it. It's like, I showed up, motherfucker, because we gonna make sure this happened, and I'm gonna beat the shit out of you, and that's what he did.
They got it done. Paulo Costa got it done. So now, like, what he looking at? Like a Brunson fight? What? Or Cannonier fight? Maybe Cannonier.
He got that cardio though, so
exactly. Next, and shout out to the champ.
Shout out to the champ. Number one takedown.
And new Leon Edwards from Jamaica. That UK stuff, that's cool and all, but that's Jamaica. Okay. He did it for the yard.
Okay.
He did it for Jam Rock.
Okay. No more. That's it. You cut off.
I'm just saying, but like they running that shit back.
They about to run it back. And I got a lot to say about this one. I got a lot to say. Kamaru Usman, your game plan is the same for everybody. You punch a little bit, you take him down, and you keep him up against the cage, and you try to ground and pound. But you got to add more weapons to your arsenal. As we can see, Leon Edwards has been taking time to add weapons to his arsenal. Not only did he develop a ground game, his striking was on point, and he got the high kicks for your ass. You need something else. If you're not going to work on submissions, which I think will be a great idea for you because you already a wrestler, they already on the ground. You had a couple chokes there that you didn't capitalize on because you probably didn't know what you were doing, but you got to add some weapons to that arsenal. And it was just Leon Edwards' time. He was hungry. He was determined. He did get defeated, but he also did take Kamaru Usman down in that first round and keep him down. He was looking brand new, just like he never been here. Practice that ground game on the bottom. That's where you should start, honestly. But anywho,
that's what I'm saying. Start off by being the nail. Start off by being the nail.
Yep. And then in the final round, it was just like he kind of coasted, even though the commentators was just saying Kamaru Usman can coast, but he's not that type of fighter. And in the same sense, Dean Thomas said Leon Edwards will, feel his morale at the end going through a decision, but he's not that type of fighter. And then you just see the switch pop. The kick came. Kamaru Usman was no longer he was not being the aggressor and just kind of got in a complacent place. He thought it was over. So did a lot of people. Sound like it's not over. Something's about to happen.
For a second.
Yes.
He slept for a second.
He dropped his guard for a second and it was capitalized on.
He was like, oh, this is just another one of those jabs. Ooh, excuse me, straight out the way. Bam. Head kick.
That shit was wild.
And I don't know what you want me to say.
You can't say too much, but I will say.
But I will say Leon Edwards was losing that fight all up until then.
Yep. He took round one. He took round one. Kamaru Usman took the other ones, but it was like the same game plan. Nothing was changing. And so he changed it at the end where he wasn't attacking and then he got caught.
Yep. From what everybody was saying, like if you put pressure on Kamaru Usman, then that's when, and that's how he won the round one.
Yeah.
Like that shit was crazy. That takedown was crazy. And
it was smooth.
And we not attributing that takedown to wrestling.
That's jiu-jitsu.
We attributing that takedown. That's jiu-jitsu. That was a jiu-jitsu takedown. So it's just like Leon Edwards is gotten so well at mixing the wrestling with the jiu-jitsu better than Kamaru Usman, which is why he was on his back like a backpack.
And then,
you know
Kamaru Usman doesn't use the jiu-jitsu. He just does wrestling. And that's what I was saying. He had chokes available. That's why I was saying if one thing he wants to add to his arsenal, it will be submissions, because you already there on the ground. You already have the position. You had a couple darts there, head and arms. Like you had a couple of options there that you could have, it would have stopped the fight. Like you said, you was going to stop him. But another thing I think is like people speaking about their time before their time and getting caught up in that. Don't get caught up in the hype. You know, let your actions speak for itself. And I just think he was getting caught up a little bit. People want to talk about the GOAT and the greatest of all time. Get there first before you talk about it. Let other people continue to talk about it, but before you start talking about it, get there first.
He was like talking about it so people could start talking about it. Like no, like we like people gonna start talking about it. Just keep being great. Like,
yeah.
But at the same time, this is just you know, small things to a giant. You know,
Small
next
things.
Thing.
If he's willing to put in the work and add some stuff to his arsenal, I think he'll be right back on top because, you know, Leon Edwards, he has options.
He has the blueprint. And now, but I think the welterweight is like bust wide open now. Now I think like it's going to be people thinking that it's up for grabs for real now because it's not Kamaru. Because they don't have to worry.
He was fighting the same guys.
Because they don't have to worry about the wrestling. Like, is guys like they feel like they could rock Leon Edwards like Nate Diaz did and get a belt, you know. So Kamaru Usman always was known for having that chin. Gilbert Burns caught Kamaru Usman in the first, and you know he stood up through that shit. So like Leon Edwards realized like it's got to be a leg, it got to be a leg to do it, and that shit was elite, like straight across the chin line,
technical as hell.
And they was talking about how sharp his accuracy is and how sharp his boxing and his striking is, and you got a display right there.
Yeah, that's why Kamaru didn't want to stand up with him. It was taken to the ground every time. Yeah. But he got a little complacent and comfortable at the end, thought he was about to coast through, and just you in this man world now. That's what you didn't want.
And I'm going to say this is the smart thing that Izzy's doing that Kamaru didn't do. When he fought Leon Edwards, when Leon Edwards wanted to fight him again, he should have fought him again immediately. When Izzy is about to fight Pereira, he's just getting in the UFC, first getting a few fights. He's not about to let him go 7 years and get good and then come see Izzy. No, Izzy is trying to face this head on right now and get this shit out the way right now. You know what I'm saying? Because like, believe it or not, it's probably going to be a rematch, regardless of however that fight turned out, because Pereira is going to get back up there. So, you know, Kamaru Usman, he should have just went ahead and got that rematch ahead of time instead of like trying to stall somebody out that's hungry.
Oh, and he was hungry. He said it was his time. And people who got that grind, got that grit, and just been dogging through it, and they see it, they can taste it. It's right there in arm's reach. They gonna leave it all out there. And I said Leon Edwards, he was willing to leave it all out there.
Yep. And the coaching on the commentary, that shit was crazy.
They was cussing him out.
It was his coaching was like, you got to fucking finish this shit. You better fucking pick your head up. And the commentary was counting him out. No, he's done. He's finished. He's just gonna let this
count him out
between his fingers.
Dean didn't.
But and I wanted to say Luke Rockhold was getting coached by DC the whole fight. Like I don't even remember hearing Luke Rockhold's coaches until like very faintly. I remember hearing his coaches, but I heard DC coaching for Luke Rockhold the whole motherfucking time, and I thought that he was gonna pull it out just by him coaching, but.
Kamaru Usman too, they was doing the same thing, and he was grabbing the gate and the fence, but Leon Edwards was like grabbing in his gloves, so they had their own things going on.
It's like if he keep grabbing the fence and he ain't gonna do nothing, all right, I'm about to grab the fence too then. Fuck it. Then
he got his position took.
Yeah, he got
he had to go back to the ground. That was so messed up. Kamaru was grabbing it all night.
He really had to get it out of the mud for this W.
He did.
He said he wasn't going to just be able to just take it off of him. Like, he was going to have to take it, and he did. That's what he got. I just hope he doubled back with Kamaru immediately instead of trying to go out Kobe and Masvidal. Like, Masvidal don't deserve no shot. No,
we don't.
No. Masvidal do not deserve no shot. No. I'm going to make sure I put this on Instagram. Not even Kobe. No, they do not deserve no shot. No.
They didn't do shit in last year.
Just because it's a new champion? No.
Yeah.
That's not how that works. You just received title shots already. Go face Kamaru again so you can get you a title shot. You have to see Kamaru about your title shot, sir.
Kamaru about to see Leon about his title shot.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, if Leon Edwards beat Kamaru, or if again, they're gonna have to all see Kamaru about their title shot.
They are. Yeah, they still got to get through them.
Yep. So I want them to keep that same Cosmo energy. You know what I'm saying? Before they start to say a title shot now, keep that same Cosmo Kamaru energy. Now that he don't got the belt, keep that same energy. Let's not assume that Cosmo need a title shot. No, he needed to fight Kamaru. Let's not get that confused. All those people, let's remember all those people that's coming up that we wanted to see go get a title shot. Now they can go fight Kamaru to get a title shot.
Well, so, Kamaru wants his belt back, so he wants his title first. You don't think they about to immediately run it back?
I don't think they should immediately run it back because Kamaru got some shit. He need to put a gi on real quick. Kamaru need to go put a gi on real quick. For real. Because it's just like he's so used to being the hammer. Once he got on the bottom, what'd he do? He held on. Because that's what happens to dudes that's not used to be like it's time. I go with people like the one time that I put the D1 wrestler, like I got reversed him. He held on to me for dear life, twisting, turning hips until he just waited and tried to wait me out. They're not going to try to move any activity. If I get on bottom, no, it's activity. It's activity.
That happened to me. Guy got held in my guard once. I put him on the bottom too. It's just like, come on. I was like, we really about to sit here like this?
Like what? Like what else,
we really
about
to sit here? Yeah. Like what are we doing here? You really not gonna open this guard up? Like, boy.
But welterweight, please refer to Kamaru Usman for your title shot. Please refer to him if you would like to talk about your title shot, because Leon Edwards is the person you actually going to see about an actual title shot, but Kamaru Usman, you got to go through him now. Still. So thanks, management.
Leon Edwards, it was his time, but you know who I am concerned about? That Izzy Pedro fight. That's gonna be a good fight either way, because they both stand-up kickboxers. Unless Izzy add a ground game and surprise this motherfucker, like I don't know, he gonna have to add another, weapon to his arsenal to get to come out on top. That's just my opinion right now. And
or it's lights out.
Or Charles Oliveira and what's his name?
Islam. I think Oliveira has that aggressive jiu-jitsu that can compete with wrestling.
It's gonna be a good fight, but I think Charles Oliveira is still gonna pull it off.
I don't know. That's what we'll see.
I'm gonna bet on him. Bet on it.
When the underdog, we'll see.
Oh, he gonna be the underdog? Dang, you think so?
Yeah. But hey, that was the No Cap recap. That was another one. That was an awesome big fight. UFC 278. Gosh, it went crazy. Make sure y'all go check us out on all streaming platforms and on YouTube. We there. It's the RoundHouse RoundTable. It's Marnie T and this B. We out.
That's why I use the heat as a sword. Cause keep the peace as a boy. They go keys for you. Say please. That's one, please. Don't need. No one, that's two, please. Don't leave. That's 3, 4. If you do